It was a cold, silent night in the snowy mountains of northern Pakistan. Snowflakes were falling slowly from the sky, covering the ground in a thick white sheet. There were no lights, no people, just mountains and silence. Far away, a young shepherd, boy named Billow, was sitting by a small fire. His sheep were sleeping nearby. He was alone but used to it. His small radio was playing an old song when suddenly the signal stopped. Static noise took over. He looked at the radio. "Battery?" he whispered, but then he felt it. A strange vibration in the ground. He stood up quickly. The firewood cracked. Then, in the sky, something strange. Not a plane. Not a star. It was round, glowing blue, falling fast. With a loud but soft hump, it crashed behind the hill, not far from where Bilal was. There was no explosion. No fire, just snow flying up and a deep silence again. Bilal froze. After a few seconds, he ran up the hill, his boots sinking in the snow. As he reached the top, he lay flat on his stomach and peeked down. His eyes widened. There was a small metallic object, half buried in snow. It looked like a pod. Smooth silver surface, glowing with a faint blue light. Steam rose from it. The snow around it had melted slightly. Suddenly, with a soft hiss, the pod opened. Bil held his breath from the pod. A tiny figure stepped out, a girl, but not human. She was about 3 feet tall. Her skin was pale blue, glowing softly. Big round eyes, long thin fingers. She looked weak, scared. She stepped into the snow barefoot and fell to her knees. Billa didn't move. His heart was racing. Alien. He whispered to himself. Before he could go closer, he heard something else. Engines. Black SUVs were approaching from the far road. No headlights. Silent. Fast. Bil quickly hid behind a rock, watching everything. The cars stopped near the pod. 4 men came out, all in black clothes, wearing masks. They had guns. One of them shouted in a language Billa didn't understand. Another pointed to the alien girl. She tried to crawl back to her pod, but one of the men grabbed her. She screamed, a high, strange sound. It echoed in the mountains. Bil covered his ears. They pushed her into the back of the SUV. One of them picked up a small glowing device from the snow. It looked like part of the alien pod. They spoke quickly, checking the area, then left. The SUVs disappeared into the snow-covered road without a trace. Bilo was still frozen in fear. What had he just seen? Who were those men? Was it the army? Or something else? But he wasn't the only one watching. High up on a snowy cliff, 2 figures stood, wearing thick white snowsuits. Their faces were covered, but their eyes were sharp. One of them held binoculars. They watched the vehicles drive away. One of them spoke quietly into a radio. "Target has been taken. Team Alpha will follow. Don't engage yet." The other figure nodded. These were EC agents. They didn't wear flashy uniforms. They didn't show up on news. But they were the reason dangerous things stayed hidden. And tonight, they had seen something that was not from Earth. The agent put away the binoculars. That wasn't military. That was private. "Mercenaries, maybe," he said. "Then we're not the only ones who knew about the crash," the woman replied. Snow kept falling. Quiet returned, but something had changed. Somewhere, deep in that black SUV, a scared alien girl cried silently. Her tiny hands glowed softly as she held a small stone, maybe a memory, maybe a weapon, and somewhere the EC agents followed. Through the snow, without a sound. They had one mission now. Find the girl. Before it's too late, asterisk snow fell, like ash. Cold wind moved across the mountains, whispering through the trees. But the forest was not empty anymore. Something dangerous had entered this land. Under the soft cover of trees, 2 shadows moved without sound. Dressed in white winter suits, they blended into the snow perfectly. Their eyes scanned the area. One carried a long-range rifle, the other a black device with a glowing screen. Their names, Agent Cameron and Agent Alia. They were not ordinary soldiers. They were EC Ghost Unit, trained to operate in silence. deep behind enemy lines, unknown even to their own people. The device in Aliyah's hand beeped softly. The energy signal is getting stronger. They didn't go far, she whispered. Cameron nodded. His voice was low and calm. They're moving fast, but sloppy. They didn't hide the heat trail, not professionals. They were in a hurry. They stopped near a frozen stream. Cameron knelt and touched the snow. Warm, wet patches, tire marks. And footprints. Fresh. He looked up. They're scared. That girl, she's more important than we thought. Aliyah tapped the screen again. A 3D model appeared. A round shape, spinning slowly. It showed the alien pod. I scanned the crash site. The metal isn't from Earth. It's smooth at the molecular level. This wasn't made, it was grown. Cameron raised his eyebrows. So she came from a place more advanced than us. Much more. They moved again. 10 minutes later, they found the place. A hidden road. Fresh tire marks. Oil on the snow. Even a broken glass tube glowing blue fluid inside. Cameron picked it up carefully. She was injured. They tried to sedate her. Suddenly, Aliyah pointed at the forest edge. Her voice tightened. Look, footprints. Smaller ones. She tried to run. Cameron's eyes narrowed. He whispered more to himself than to her. She's a child. Scared. Alone. And they took her like she was a thing. They followed the trail until they found a broken tree. On its bark, glowing mark, like a burned symbol, alien writing. It pulsed softly. Aliyah stared at it. She left this, like a message. Cameron stepped closer. The mark was shaped like an eye, surrounded by stars. She's not just a survivor, he said. She's something more. Meanwhile, far away, inside a moving black van, the alien girl sat tied to a chair. Her tiny hands glowed faintly, but she was too weak to fight. Wires were attached to her skin. Machines beeped quietly. One man watched her closely, tall, wearing a long black coat. His face had scars. His name was Krell. He was not from any country's army. He was a hunter, a collector of things not meant for humans. He looked at the girl like she was a rare diamond. You don't even know what you carry, little one, he said softly. But I do. She stared at him with wide glowing eyes. Silent tears running down her cheeks. Back in the mountains. Kamran and Aliyah sat near a rock, setting up a small antenna. Aliyah connected her tablet. Within seconds, signals appeared, communications. From the van, scrambled, encrypted, but Aliyah smiled. They're sloppy with tech. I'm in. Suddenly, a message appeared on her screen. Delivered to grid 6C by 040. Do not damage the subject. Cameron looked at the map. Grid 6C. That's near the abandoned NATO station. Perfect for a secret handover, Aliyah said. Cameron loaded his rifle. Then we go there. We find her, and we find out who wants her so badly. Aliyah nodded. Then, in the stillness, they heard something new. A soft humming. From the sky. They both looked up. High above, hidden by clouds, a strange shape floated in the air. Not a plane. Not a drone. An alien probe. Watching. Recording. Cameron narrowed his eyes. They're already here? Darkness. Cold. Silence. That's all she felt. The tiny alien girl opened her eyes. She was lying on a metal table. Wires were attached to her arms and forehead. Her small body shook as cold air touched her glowing skin. Bright lights above made it hard to see. Machines beeped softly around her. She didn't understand the sounds, but she felt one thing very clearly. Fear. She sat up slowly, weak and dizzy. Around her were glass walls. A lab. Cold. Empty. Trapped. Then she heard a voice. She's awake. 2 humans walked in. Black uniforms. No faces. Only masks. One carried a tablet. The other held a syringe filled with blue liquid. The girl backed away. Don't move, the man said. Stay calm. She didn't understand the words, but she knew the meaning. She screamed. Not with her mouth, but with her mind. Lights flickered. The tablet sparked. The machine shut down for 3 seconds. The power trembled. She ran, elsewhere, in the forest. 2 EC agents watched from a nearby ridge. Agent Kamran looked through binoculars. The enemy facility was built into a hillside, half visible from outside. Security towers, electric fences. No flags. No markings? Private black site, Cameron said. This isn't military. It's corporate. Someone is funding this. Agent Aliyah checked her device. Energy spikes. Something just happened inside. She's alive. They moved quickly through the trees, silent like shadows. Their mission? Infiltrate, locate, extract Dot inside the lab. The alien girl ran through metal hallways. Sirens had not started yet, but the building felt angry. Doors buzzed. Red lights blinked. She entered a supply room and hid behind a crate. Her breathing was fast. Her hands glowed again, this time brighter. She touched a nearby screen. It lit up. A language appeared. Her language. She whispered softly. Father. If you hear me, I'm still here. The screen replied with static. She lowered her head. Then dashed footsteps. The door opened. A janitor. Old, tired human. He saw her. His eyes widened, but he didn't shout. Instead, he dropped his mop and slowly raised his hands. It's okay. I'm not like them, he said softly. She stared at him, unsure. He reached into his pocket and took out a candy. He placed it on the floor and stepped back. You're just a child. They shouldn't be doing this to you. She didn't take the candy, but she stepped out of the shadows, back outside. Cameron and Aliyah had reached the outer wall. They placed a small device near the fence. It blinked twice, then cut the power. The fence went down. They moved in. We have 10 minutes before backup generator kicks in, Aliyah whispered. They entered a side tunnel used for deliveries. No guards. Just silence. Get to surveillance. I'll sweep the lower floor. Cameron ordered. They split up. Back in the storage room. The janitor opened a hidden maintenance panel. This tunnel leads to the garage. If you run fast, maybe you can. Before he could finish, the door burst open. Krell entered. The scar-faced mercenary. The janitor raised his hands. She's just a child. A gunshot. He fell. The girl screamed. The lights exploded. Krell raised his arm to shield his face. When he looked again, she was gone. Aliyah reached the surveillance room and hacked into the cameras. On one screen, the alien. Girl running through the halls. I found her. She whispered. On another. Guards preparing weapons. And on the last, Krell speaking to someone on a video call. A face appeared. Strange. Calm. Not human. Bring her to grid 6C. Alive. Or we send another ship. Aliyah froze. Cameron. There's something else here. This isn't just kidnapping. It's a deal. Meanwhile, Cameron moved down the hallway. Suddenly, Gash clicked. A laser. Appeared on his chest. Sniper. He rolled to the side. A shot hit the wall behind him. He fired back. Silence followed. Then a tiny figure ran past him. The alien girl. He turned. Shocked. Stop. We're not here to hurt you. She paused for a moment. Her eyes met his. She saw something different in him. No fear. No hunger. No cruelty. Just calm. Just protection. But behind her, alarms began to scream. Asterisk, the silence was. Wrong. It wasn't peaceful. It was the kind of silence that felt alive. Like something was listening. Agent Cameron walked slowly through the lower hallway of the facility. His gun was raised. His boots made no sound. The walls were dark metal, but something about them felt old, not human. He turned a corner. Lights above flickered. This place is dead, he whispered into his cums. But I feel like it's watching me. From the other end, Agent Aliyah's voice crackled. Same here. I'm in the data center. This isn't just a lab, it's part storage, part tomb, somewhere deeper in the building. The alien girl ran until she couldn't anymore. She dropped to her knees in a cold hallway. Her skin flickered, light dimming. She was tired, scared, but still alive. Suddenly, a soft hum filled The air dot the walls around her glowed faintly. Blue lines ran across them, like veins under skin. She looked up and whispered in her language. They built this using our technology. Then she stood. Her fear turned into anger. Back in the server room, Alia typed quickly. Screens popped open camera feeds, maps, and research logs. One document stopped her cold. Specimen O1, energy-based organism. Age approx. 7 Earth years. They've been running tests on her, she whispered. Then she saw something worse. File. Weaponization proposal. Cameron's voice came in. Found anything? Yeah. They weren't just studying her. They were trying to turn her into a weapon, human or alien. Both. Cameron opened a door ahead. Inside, he saw something he didn't expect. A huge room, empty, except for a floating crystal in the center. It glowed like the girl's skin. Beneath it, symbols burned into the metal floor. Cameron stepped closer. His breath turned to mist. The temperature dropped instantly. What the hell is this place? The crystal pulsed once, boom, and a wave of energy pushed him back. Then, a whisper, not a voice, a thought. Return her. Cameron froze. Meanwhile, Krell walked down another hallway, holding a scanner. The alien girl's signal was close. He grinned. Come out, little star, he said, tapping the walls. Your kind always runs. But you glow. Suddenly a pipe behind him burst. Steam covered the hallway. He raised his weapon, but no. One was there, not just that same silence. The alien girl had found something else now. A chamber, round, covered in strange writing. In the center. A broken machine. Like a cradle, but alien. She touched it. Memories exploded in her mind, her planet burning. Her parents shouting, the escape pod closing. A tear ran down her cheek. I was not supposed to wake up alone. Alia broke into another file. Subject signal detected. Unidentified ship entering low orbit. She stared. Oh no, they're coming back for her. But not to rescue her. To erase her. She radioed Cameron. We have minutes. Extraction now or never. Cameron moved fast. As he exited the crystal room, the hallway behind him collapsed. The whole facility was shaking now. Lights shut off. Sirens began to cry. Not human alarms. Alien ones. And then he saw her. The alien girl stood at the end of the hallway, glowing, eyes wide. She stared at him. He lowered his weapon. I'm not here to hurt you, he said. We're here to help. She tilted her head. Her fingers moved. Light danced in the air. Then, using a voice that was not hers, but a machine's translator, she said, You are not like the others. Cameron nodded. Neither are you. Behind them, Krell appeared, gun raised. Step away from the girl. Cameron stepped in. Front of her. You'll have to shoot me first. Krell smirked. I plan to. Suddenly, a flash of white. The lights exploded. Smoke. Everywhere. And out of the shadows, Agent Alia appeared. Boom, she said, dropping a smoke grenade shell. Cameron grabbed the girl's hand. Time to go. As they escaped into the night, the mountain shook behind them. From high above, a dark alien ship watched the earth below. It had no windows. No lights. But it knew exactly where the girl was. It was snowing again, but this time, it was quiet. No bullets. No alarms. Just wind. And the soft crunch of footsteps in deep snow. Agent Cameron walked slowly through the dark pine forest. One arm held his rifle. The other held something far more important. Her. The tiny alien girl was wrapped in his jacket. Her skin glowed faintly against the cold. She didn't speak. She hadn't said a word since they left the burning facility, but she kept holding his hand. Behind them, Agent Alia checked. Scanner. The enemy signal was gone. The facility was now buried, destroyed by its own alien systems. We bought time, she said softly, but not safety. Cameron nodded. Let's get off the grid. We need shelter and answers. They reached an old watchtower, broken, forgotten, half buried in snow. No cameras. No heat signatures. Perfect dot inside. They lit a small fire. The girl sat near it, watching the flames like she'd never seen fire before. Alia brought her a blanket and a thermos of warm milk. The girl touched it carefully, then took a small sip. For the first time, she smiled. Just for a second. Then her eyes turned serious again. Cameron sat near her, taking off his gloves. "You're not a weapon," he said softly. "They lied to?" "Everyone." She looked at him. Her eyes glowed deep blue. Slowly, she raised her hand and touched her translator device. It beeped. And then, in a soft, machine-like voice, she spoke. "They wanted to break me. I did not let them." Cameron nodded. "Good." She stared into the fire. "My name is Lyra." Alia looked up. "Lyra, why did you come to Earth?" Lyra didn't answer right away. She looked outside the cracked window. Snow was falling like stars from a broken sky. "Not come, crushed, escaping." From who?" She looked down. "The ones who made me. They want me back." She took a deep breath, as if remembering hurt her. "I am the last piece of a lost world. My mind holds their memory, their knowledge. If they get me, they get everything." Cameron exchanged a look with Alia. "She's more than a survivor. She's a living archive." Alia whispered, "A data key, inside a child." Cameron turned back to Lyra. "We'll protect you. You're not alone anymore." Lyra looked up at him. "But they will come." Just then, the scanner beeped. Alia rushed to it. "Signal from orbit. A large ship above us. They're scanning the planet." Cameron stood up. "So the war just started." Outside, above the clouds, something moved. A dark ship. No engines. No light. Just motion. It didn't fly. It floated, like a shark under ice. Inside the ship. A voice spoke. "She has bonded with the locals." Then we erased them. Back in the tower, Lyra looked suddenly afraid. Her hands began to glow, brighter than before. She held her head and cried out, "They are close. They are calling me. I can't stop them." Cameron knelt beside her. "Then don't fight alone." He placed his hand over hers, his human skin over alien light. Something changed. The glow softened. Lyra opened her eyes. "You calm the noise." Cameron smiled gently. "Good, then let's quiet together." The fire crackled softly. Outside. The snow fell faster. The warship above grew larger. And deep under the mountain. A buried machine woke up. Asterisk somewhere far from the snow. In the warm desert of southern Pakistan, a young boy stood on the roof of his house. He looked up at the stars. His family was downstairs watching TV, but he liked the sky more than screens. Tonight, the stars looked strange. One of them was moving, then another. Then the stars disappeared. A long black shape covered them, silent and massive. Like a whale swimming through space. The boy blinked. And for the first time in his life, he felt afraid of the sky. Elsewhere, in a military control room, Islamabad alarms blared. Officers shouted. Screens blinked red. Unknown object detected. Speed? Slow? Mass? Enormous? Altitude? Geosynchronous? Is it a satellite? No. Sir, it's not man-made. Then what the hell is it? No one had answers. Back in the snowy watchtower, Cameron loaded his rifle again. The room felt colder now, even though the fire was still alive. Lyra stood near the broken window, watching the sky. Her eyes didn't blink. "They are here," she whispered. Agent Alia checked her device. The readings were off the charts. "They're jamming satellites. Global positioning is breaking. Civilian flights are grounding. The world's watching." "What do they want?" Cameron asked. Lyra turned slowly. "Me. Then why show themselves now?" Alia asked. "To send a message." Suddenly, every screen, every mobile phone, every radio in the world changed. The message was not any language, just a symbol, a circle of stars, with one missing and then a voice. "Artificial, calm, cold, return the last star child." or face extinction? Panic begins news spread fast. UFO spotted above multiple countries. Unidentified object over Pakistan. Aliens confirmed. World government silent. Social. Media explodes. The world had feared this moment for years. Now it was real. Inside the tower, Lyra backed away from the window. They will not wait long. Cameron stared at the night sky. What happens if we return you? Lyra's voice cracked. They will erase me. They will erase your world too. Just like mine. Alia stood in silence. She looked at her screen again. It showed multiple ships now. Not just one. More were arriving like vultures over a battlefield. We need to move, Cameron said. They'll find this place soon. Where? Alia asked. Cameron opened a map. He pointed to a spot deep in the mountains. The old NATO signal bunker. It's shielded, off-grid, underground. We can hide or make a stand. Lyra stepped forward. I can help. Cameron looked at her. How? She raised her glowing hand. I remember technology. From before. From my people. Maybe I can talk to the machines. Maybe I can stop them. Alia whispered, amazed. She's not just a child. She's our only firewall. On the other side of Earth, inside the alien command ship. The leaders watched Earth spin. Below. One of them placed a finger over a hologram of Pakistan. They still resist. Another replied, resistance is a delay. Nothing more. Send the ground units. Night falls harder. Cameron, Alia, and Lyra prepared to leave the tower. They heard a sound in the sky, soft at first, like wind. Louder. A roar. Not from engines. But from tearing reality. Clouds twisted. A dark light flashed. Then. Something descended. Humanoid. Armored. Fast. Alien drop units. Cameron loaded his gun. Alia armed the EMPs. Lyra closed her eyes and began to glow brighter than ever before. What now? Alia asked. Cameron looked out the broken window, watching. The enemy fall from the sky. Now, he said, we show them what humans do when the sky breaks open. Snow was falling again. But this time, it was not peaceful. It was the kind of snow that falls before a war. The wind didn't whisper. It growled. Agent Tomran stood on the ridge above the old NATO bunker. He looked down at the valley. Quiet. For now, but not for long. Behind him, Agent Alia checked the last defenses. Drones, EMP charges, old Earth tech patched with alien power, all connected by one glowing source. Call on Lyra. She sat cross-legged on a platform inside the bunker. Her hands on the ground, glowing brighter than ever. Her body was small, but the energy around her shook. The concrete walls. She wasn't just surviving now. She was activating. Cameron walked over and knelt beside her. You don't have to do this alone. Lyra looked up. Her voice was steady. Now, strong. I was never meant to be a weapon. I was a seed. A memory. They want to erase me. To erase what came before. Cameron nodded. Then we protect the last memory, no matter what. She reached out and touched his chest. Her fingers glowed, then faded. Your heart, it does not lie. That is rare. He smiled. Far above. The enemy ship opened. Thousands of small dark pods dropped from the sky like black rain. Inside each one, a soldier. No soul. No fear. No name, just mission. Erase the last star child. And anything that stands with her. Liya. Activated the defense grid. Here they come. Cameron raised his rifle. Then let's make them regret landing here. The snowstorm exploded into light and fire. Alien machines touched the ground and were torn apart by magnetic traps. Others charged forward, only to be taken down by Lyra's energy pulse. Turning machines into dust. ISI backup arrived. Silent teams from shadow units, armed and trained. Men and women in white snow camouflage, appearing like ghosts from the trees. But still, more kept falling. Inside, Lyra trembled. Her power was growing too fast. I can't hold it forever. Alia touched her shoulder, then let go. Do what you were meant to do. Lyra's eyes widened. She stood. She walked outside into the falling snow. The battlefield went silent. Both human and alien forces stopped. A child, glowing like a small sun, stood in the center. She raised her hand to the sky and spoke, in a voice heard in every mind, human or alien. Enough. The alien ships froze. The soldiers dropped their weapons. One by one, their machines shut down. The sky pulsed. A giant wave of energy pushed out from Lyra's body. A memory broadcast. The stars, her planet, her people, her loss. All of it, shared in one instant. Even the enemy felt it. The warships began to retreat, not out of fear, but understanding. Back on the ground, Cameron watched with tears in his eyes. She made them remember, later. The snow was still falling, but the battle was over. Lyra sat on a rock, quiet. Her glow was softer now. They will not come again, she said. Alia smiled. Because you taught them. Not with a weapon, but with truth. Cameron walked over. What will you do now? Lyra looked at the stars. My planet is gone, but I can plant a new one here. In the distance, the sun rose behind the mountains. A new day, a new start. And on a quiet field of snow, a child who had no home was finally home.